I think Bill Clinton is terrific. I think he's done an amazing job. I think he's probably got the toughest skin I've ever seen, and I think he's a terrific guy. I know Hillary, and I know her husband very well. They're fine people.
Have you ever had an extramarital affair, Governor? Well, if I had, I wouldn't tell you.
We need to talk about this Bubba rumor because I never expected something like this would come out. So you probably heard by now that there's a leaked JE email that mentions Trump getting down on his knees for Bubba, which is allegedly Bill Clinton's nickname. Now, Jeffrey's brother Mark has come forward denying that Bubba is Clinton. And he said Bubba isn't even a public figure. But notice how he didn't deny the part about Trump getting down on his knees for someone? But just when you thought this timeline couldn't get any crazier, reports surfaced that Epstein's accomplice allegedly had a horse named Bubba. Yes, I mean a real-life horse. And now DL has chimed in with his own expose on this Bubba mess. So let's break down what's really happening. Because if you thought you were done hearing about Bubba, don't hold your breath. The internet is not letting this die quietly. All right, y'all, if you saw the name Donica Lewinsky trending these days and you're confused about what it means, let me bring you up to speed. So one of the recently released JE emails from Mark Epstein, Jeffrey's brother, mentions Trump blowing Bubba. In fact, Mark asked Jeffrey if Putin had the photos of Trump doing this. Now notice he has the photos. So it sounds like he knows the photos really do exist. He's just asking if Putin got his hands on them. But here's where it gets even crazier. So Bubba has been Bill Clinton's nickname for years. Clinton's own friends and people in his inner circle have referred to him as Bubba, especially when he was younger and still living in Arkansas. And during Clinton's presidential campaign in 1992, the media also used Bubba as a shorthand for his Southern persona. So naturally, the speculation started immediately. Did Trump actually get down on his knees for Clinton? Is that why Trump couldn't stand Hillary's guts but always praised Bill in interviews?
I've always liked him. I've always gotten along with him. He used to be a friend of mine, but now I've always liked him. I thought it was very nice, actually.
The internet obviously took this and ran with it, and within hours, the phrase Donica Lewinsky started popping up, a play on Monica Lewinsky's name and her infamous affair with Clinton. In case you forgot, Monica was a White House intern/secretary back in the mid-90s. And, well, she had that fling with Bill that exploded into a huge escandala and basically made her a household name overnight. Their affair started in 1995 when Bill was 49 and Monica was 22. Now, there's some speculation that Monica may have been a plant or a honeypot, if you will, and that Bill was blackmailed. Jeffrey even owned a portrait of Clinton wearing Monica's famous blue dress. So after that Bubba story went viral, the internet was flooded with jokes and memes, and a viral photo that was taken in 2000. And Trump really did get handsy with Clinton. And based on Clinton's face, he didn't mind it at all. Now, if you're wondering how Trump reacted to the Bubba rumors and this whole Epstein mess, he was just caught on camera snapping at a female reporter and calling her Piggy after she questioned him about the emails.
Quiet. Okay.
Mr. President, what did Jeffrey Epstein mean in his emails when he said you knew about the girls?
I know nothing about that. They would have announced that a long time ago. It's really what did he mean when he spent all the time with Bill Clinton, with the president of Harvard, that is Summers, Larry Summers, whatever his name is, and all of the other people they spent time with. Jeffrey Epstein and I had a very bad relationship for many years. But he also saw strike because I was president. So he dictated a couple of memos to himself. Give me a break. You're going to find out what did he know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knew, including J.P. Morgan checks.
Now hold up. Didn't Trump claim that the whole thing was a Democrat hoax? So if it's a hoax, why is he now saying he wants to investigate Clinton and others who were in JE's inner circle?
This is a hoax put out by the Democrat, and a couple of few Republicans have gone along with it because they're weak and ineffective.
Also, remember when Trump gave those binders to MAGA influencers and told us it was the real JE files? So which one is it? How was it a hoax when Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi claimed back in February that the files were sitting on her desk?
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen? It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
Now back to Bubba. So D.O. Hughley just joined the chat to clown Trump about this whole Bubba story. And he cracked a little joke by bringing up Trump's comments about how he wants to have a football stadium named after him.
President Bill Clinton. And it's been a hell of a week for Trump. Like, he's gone from wanting a NFL stadium named after him to, these allegations. And I think if Trump does have a stadium named after him, the only teams that should play there are the Rams, the Browns, and the Packers.
Now let's talk about another theory that's floating around about this mystery Bubba person. So some sources are now alleging that it may not be a person at all, but a horse. Here's what happened. After the Trump and Bill Clinton story started trending, Jeffrey Epstein's brother Mark issued a statement claiming that the Bubba he was referring to in that email wasn't Bill, but someone else who's not even a public figure. However, Mark didn't elaborate further. And like I said earlier, he didn't deny the part about Trump being involved or the existence of those photos he mentioned. All Mark said was, quote, "For the avoidance of doubt, the reference to Bubba in this correspondence is not in any way a reference to former President Bill Clinton," end quote. And then a spokesperson for Mark added that Bubba is a private individual who is not a public figure. And according to People, when asked for additional context about the message, Mark declined to provide more details. Right, as if they would admit it even if it was a public figure. But anyway, in the meantime, the internet discovered that Epstein's accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell, who is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence, allegedly had a horse who was named Bubba. Now, of course, the Trump administration is denying all of this, and they issued a statement saying, quote, "Democrats and the mainstream media are desperately trying to use this hoax as a distraction to talk about anything other than the president's many wins, including the Democrats getting utterly defeated by President Trump in the shutdown fight. We won't be distracted, and the entire administration will continue fulfilling the promises the president was elected on, including cutting the Biden-era price hikes," end quote. The public might make jokes online, but this situation is way too big, way too deep, and touches way too many powerful people on both sides. Republicans, Democrats, billionaires, CEOs, and there's nothing funny about what these people did to countless victims. They really think tossing out a couple of weird emails and a random Bubba line is gonna make everyone suddenly forget what's in those files? Yeah, no, absolutely not. The files aren't some little gossip scandal you can bury under a news cycle. We're talking about serious crimes here and a possible global ring of monsters. So don't let yourself get distracted and don't let this story go away. Not today, not tomorrow, not even in 10 election cycles until all perpetrators have been exposed. As for the Bubba story, I don't know what's worse, the mental image of Trump and Clinton or Trump and a barnyard animal. Poor animal. Either way, I think we can all agree that that's one receipt they don't have to release. If this story and those photos are real, just keep them away from us, please. Now let me know what you think about all this. Do you think there's anything real behind this Trump blowing Bubba email? Who or what do you honestly think Bubba is in reference to? And more importantly, do you think we'll ever get the full truth about the files? Drop your comments below and don't miss out on this next story.